Hey YouTube, it's Billy here, and we're going to talk about why I don't think that Battle Pack 2 is a good set. Now, first off, let me just say, I'm not talking about the seal play. I'm just talking about, is it worth it to buy this booster pack to get cards you want? And I think the answer is no. The reason is because pretty much all the cards in the set are $10 cards. Megalo's 15, okay, it'll probably drop. Card 10, it'd probably stay around that price. But the god cards themselves are the mosaic rares are worth 20 each. But those are also probably going to go down in price once the hype wears off. I mean, Slifer's, I think maybe Slifer's 50. I'm not sure. That's what I heard. But it's definitely going to drop off because nobody really plays the god cards. I don't see them in a tier 1 decks. They're fun to have. It maybe might be like a Noble Knight situation, except for the fact that when people buy battle packs, they tend to buy them in boxes. So you're probably going to pull a god or two, if you're lucky, maybe two, just like the tour guide. They did make it so the gods aren't common, and that makes things harder for people to get. But still, it's the fact that tour guide was splashable pretty much everything. She was staple at 3 when she came out. The gods aren't staples at all. They're more for collection purposes. They'll probably be 15, and maybe if Slifer, because Slifer hasn't got a reprint yet in its original artwork on like Obelisk and Raw, Slifer will probably stay around 20 after a drop. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Slifer's easier to get than I think. It'll be lower. The other problem with Battle Pack 2 is it's late in the year. It's late in the year, and they're releasing power pulls. Like, their power pulls are pretty much Megalo, Breakthrough Skill, and Card D. Because it's so late in the year, I don't really want to invest money in Mermail. And here's the kicker: you got to remember, it's late in the year. If the Valence comes out, Mermail's not hit, and everybody wants to build Mermail, well, there's still going to be a lot of Battle Pack 2s out because it's relatively around the same time. So you can still get your Megalos if pulling from booster packs is your thing. Card D is a reprint that was just too late. The decks that read it were pretty much just Rescue Rabbit, and if you were running Insectors, which is decent, I'm still going to say Insectors are decent. They don't have much to stop them, and they can one-turn kill pretty easily. You're going to want some card Ds, but they're only $10. Like, they're pretty easy to get. So instead of buying maybe a booster mat box, with the Slifer, Obelisk, or Raw mats, and try to pull a card D, you could just spend $20 instead on just 2 card Ds, and there you go. That's not good. That's bad, because that means that you can buy pretty much anything you want from this set really, really cheap. So it's a bad set because you're not going to be able. You're going to waste money in most cases, and if whatever pulls you get, it's going to be kind of hard to sell because everybody else is going to be selling low too, and nobody's going to be buying high. It's not good. Breakthrough Skill is probably the most attractive thing to most people. Breakthrough Skill is always an overrated card. I pulled 2, and I use them, and like, the Fiendish Chain was better unless you're running Chaos Dragon, in which case I'd probably side them because Valor's better option in Chaos Dragon and Twilight, or Elemental Dragons because they really want to negate effects, and they want to be able to do the double thing to destroy your opponent's Draco Sack or whatever. You're probably gonna prefer to just run a Fiendish Chain over it because Chain stops them from attacking, and you don't have to worry about so much. So it's fine. The sealed aspect was a little bit disappointing too because they re-released a lot of the same cards for the low-level monsters as they did in Battle Pack 1. Here's my problem with that, is that, Battle Pack 1 was interesting because you had to read your card. You had to be like, well, what does this thing do? It's Hyper Hammerhead. And now, because it repeated a lot, you're like, oh, I know what this card does. I used to play with it in the regular Battle Pack. And I did a lot of Battle Packs, so it's a little disappointing that I don't have more variety. There's a ton of monsters Konami can choose instead of the same old stuff. And it's a little lazy for them to pick so many. I could understand maybe picking, maybe 5 cards that would still work really well in this. But the fact that they went and just picked, pretty much the whole roster of low levels that they did before, it was like, I don't know. I will play and give it a chance, and I'll re-review this if I change my mind. So, That's what I think. There was one more thing I wanted to address that I can't quite remember, but, tell me what you guys think. See ya.